When we look at the Gemini sign, one of the key traits that stand out is versatility. People with Gemini as the ascendant naturally possess this versatility, but if this trait is afflicted, it can also lead to inconsistency. Gemini is one of the most dualistic signs, arguably the most dualistic among all the mutable signs. However, dual doesn't just mean two, it can extend to multiple aspects. This signifies that Geminis don't just have two personality types, they can juggle numerous ideas and variables, making them highly adaptable and multifaceted. Geminis are skilled at handling multiple variables and navigating complex situations. However, if they lack focus, they can become scattered, resembling a jack of all trades and master of none. Yet, with proper training and discipline, they can channel the versatility into achieving great success, often surpassing others. In fact, more successful individuals and celebrities have a Gemini as their ascendant than any other sign. The second and third most common ascendant signs among successful people are Cancer and Libra, but they excel for different reasons. While Cancer and Libra are known for their people skills, Gemini's success stems from the ability to manage multiple tasks and develop a wide range of skills. Mercury, which governs Gemini, is associated with communication, intelligence, and speech. It rules the third house in the natural zodiac, which aligns with the first house for Gemini ascendants. This placement endows them with excellent communication skills and expression, making them potential poets, mathematicians, actors, or athletes. The Sun, ruling the third house in Gemini ascendant, often conjuncts Mercury, the first house lord. This results in blending of the qualities of both houses and further enhancing the Gemini's inherent third house capabilities. When Mercury is exalted in the fourth house, it signifies a strong position for Mercury. This can indicate prosperity through property or vehicles. Gemini individuals might own multiple homes, properties, or vehicles, or they could be involved in real estate or car dealership businesses where they manage and sell property and vehicles. Furthermore, the second house is ruled by Moon because it has the Cancer sign in it, and Cancer sign suggests fluctuation, that is, wealth going up and down. So, when you combine this feature with the fourth house exaltation, this means that the business of real estate, car dealership, where there is a huge inflow and outflow of fixed assets happen, this trait becomes more prominent. Further, the fourth house also represents mother, so a well placed moon would imply that the person would benefit significantly from its mother, or the support of the mother will be favorable for that person. Since Mercury in 10th house is debilitated, this often leads to frequent career changes for the individual. They may try their hands at multiple careers, facing difficulties in achieving success in any of them. Alternatively, if they stick to a single career, they might encounter challenges with their reputation or financial stability. However, in the same 10th house, the fifth house lord Venus becomes exalted. Since Venus represents art, creativity, and performance, it brings favorable outcomes in this area. Venus is also considered a guru or a teacher, and the knowledge of Venus, who is known as Shukracharya, was regarded as even greater than of Guru Brahaspati, that is the Jupiter. This exaltation in 10th house can lead to success in creative fields, performance arts, or knowledge based industries. There is also a combination known as Saraswati Yoga, formed by the conjunction of Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury, which signifies great intelligence and knowledge. Individuals with this combination tend to have strong academic achievements and exceptional intelligence. With the exaltation of Venus in 10th house, especially when it is a friend of Mercury, indicates a strong tendency towards careers in knowledge based industries, intelligence sectors, or performance arts. So, Mars is the ruler of the 6th house and also the 11th house. And 6th house relates to competition, while the 11th relates to gains. So, one interpretation that can be done is that Mars can result in a gain from competitions. Also, Mars indicates physical sports, physical activity. So, we can say that Mars can also indicate competition, competitive sports, and gains from competitive sports. So, if Mars is well placed, this prediction can work that Gemini ascendants can gain from competitive sports. One thing that is noticeable is that the way Gemini ascendant people play sports is different from, say, how the Aries ascendant would play. So, Gemini ascendant's game would be more mercurial. They will have intelligence, versatility. They will have quick reflexes. Um while the Martian sports would be more related to brute force, uh, and bravery, courage, and that kind of sports. On the negative side, Mars rules the 6th house, which denotes sickness and illness and diseases, and 11th house, which is sixth from sixth, and by this it inherits some of the characteristics of the 6th house. So Mars also becomes a significator of illness. So if Mars is afflicted, it can cause health issues. So Mars, if for example placed in the 4th house and is afflicted, then there can be issues related to heart or chest or lung. Now, if we consider the moon, which is the ruler of 2nd house, and as we have discussed before, the 2nd house is associated with accumulated wealth, fixed assets, and savings such as fixed deposits or provident funds. The moon, being the ruler of the 2nd house, can cause fluctuations in wealth. This means the savings can fluctuate significantly. Sometimes the account will have large savings, and other times very little. This can be either positive or negative, and this can manifest in the case of a real estate agent or a car dealer. So if a car dealer is purchasing an inventory of 10 cars or 20 cars, and they are making a huge investment around it, so the money will go down, and when they sell them they earn a profit and the money will come in. So they are rotating a huge amount of fixed assets in the job, in the business. So that is quite good probability that that is a case of Gemini ascendants. Saturn is the ruler of the 8th and the 9th houses. The 8th house is the 12th house from the ninth, means it negates or cancels the effect of the ninth house. So the characteristics of 8th house and ninth house, they blend together, and ninth house, which represents luck, fortune, and father, is blended with the characteristics of 8th house, which represents obstacles, problems, certain losses. So, what happens is that in Gemini ascendant, there can be sudden changes to their luck, often sudden obstacles or problems, sudden losses. Also, since ninth house indicates father, it can indicate that father can cause unexpected problems in their life, or they themselves may face certain issues themselves. Since Saturn is a malefic, planet, this characteristic might be present in the horoscope. Everyone knows who Einstein is, right? So, when it comes to intelligence and knowledge, he is considered one of the all time greatest. Now, what's really interesting about him is related to luck. When he was up for the Nobel Prize in 1921, he was a strong candidate. There was no one else at his level. However, there was an anti Einstein group that put in a lot of effort to prevent him from getting the Nobel Prize. As a result, in 1921, Einstein didn't receive the Nobel Prize and no one else did either. There was politics against him. In 1922, another scientist, Niels Bohr, his work was selected, but it was based on Einstein's discoveries. When the committee realized that the Einstein's work was based on the scientist's work, Niels Bohr's work was based on Einstein's inventions, they found themselves in a dilemma. How could they give the Nobel Prize to Niels Bohr and not to Einstein? So they had no choice but to give the Nobel Prize to Einstein. Therefore, in 1922, two Nobel Prizes were awarded, one for the 1921 and another for 1922. Another interesting aspect was that Einstein had recently divorced and he didn't have much money at that time. He had agreed in the divorce settlement that if he won the Nobel Prize, he would give all the money to his ex wife. Despite not receiving the Nobel Prize for many years, ever since his nomination in 1910 due to some politics, it was delayed. But eventually, 2 years later, he did receive it, and all the money went to his ex wife. This shows how luck can work against you. It's quite interesting. Also, Einstein had an interest in arts, he was an excellent violinist. The Nobel Prize incident highlights how his accumulated wealth fluctuated, never stable, especially when the moon is weak, causing further issues. The case of Einstein is indeed a very interesting one. The next Gemini ascendant is a very famous and dominant tennis player, Steffi Graf. We wouldn't call her domination the same as Serena Williams' power based domination. Steffi's dominance came from her variety in the game. She was incredibly versatile and was known for being able to win on any surface. She is one of the only players to have won the Grand Slam 4 times. To date, no one else has achieved this, winning the French Open, Wimbledon, Australian Open, and US Open 4 times each. She was highly versatile with excellent footwork, and her forehand was very strong. However, she did face issues related to her father. Her father was accused of mismanaging money, which led him to being in jail. He served around 45 months, nearly 4 years in prison. After paying off the money, he was released. The incident shows how the problems brought about by her father's misfortune also affected her. Despite these challenges, she reached the top and was incredibly versatile.